All right, guys, today what we're going to be talking about is PGR, or plant growth regulators. Okay, what is a PGR? What is a plant growth regulator? Essentially, it is a microemulsion concentrate that we apply. It's a liquid form. It could be granular as well, but it's a product that we apply to the lawn, okay, to help control the elongated or top growth, if you will, of the grass plant. You can apply it to any kind of grass type, whether it be a Bermuda or St. Augustine, turf type tall fescue. I don't know if you'd really want to apply it to a tall fescue because you're trying to grow some tall grass, but you can if you're in efforts of trying to control some weeds as well. I've seen that done before. So going back to what a PGR is, essentially it is the microemulsion concentrate you put down in a tank sprayer. I know how to with Doc. He just did an application with a granular, which I thought was kind of cool. There's two types, okay, that we need to understand. We've got the type that essentially is a foliar application, okay, and then you've got the second type or variety that, or it could be the first, but you got the additional kind that is targeting the root systems to inhibit top growth. Okay, so let's talk about some of the pros, if you will, of a PGR, plant growth regulator. Here in the South, we've got a lot of Bermuda grass everywhere, or whatever your grass type is, whether it be a zoysia grass. Man, I'm at a loss of words today. Bermuda grass, zoysia grass, your St. Augustine grass types, your centipede grass types. You're trying to control the height, okay? And that's essentially what we're trying to do. The top growth in the heat of the summer, it's getting a bit much, okay? And for homeowners like myself that are either too busy, or we work in the industry, we come across this a lot where we've got a weekly client or we got a bi-weekly client, and we get the monsoon season that rolls in, and we get this exuberant amount of rain that comes through, and it just starts pushing the growth of the grass. You've been maintaining it maybe a half inch or an inch. As the summer comes, you increase your cut height. What's his name? The gentleman, BYD, Bermuda Grass Central. He posted a video recently. He's got a client. It might be his own property. I'm not too sure. I caught the headline, and I think I watched the first few minutes of it, or maybe it was a YouTube post. He's now cutting Bermuda in some of his area at 3 inches, okay? And that's just because of the rain that we get, okay? The humidity, the heat, and it grows all crazy. So how can we control that? Well, you can apply a plant growth regulator. So what we're basically going to be doing is controlling the hormone in the plant. It's called gibberellic acid, okay? Gibberellic acid. That particular hormone is what controls or promotes the elongation of the actual plant. What PGR does is it starts to subside or reduce that hormone from growing, okay? Now, that is a pro in our industry because excessive grass clippings or too much top growth can cause an excessive amount of grass clippings, which you do not want in your lawn, okay? So as a homeowner, what do we do? If we've got too tall of grass or the grass gets too lengthy, we have to bag. Now, in the industry, okay, we don't bag, okay? Best industry practice, states or is encouraged to go ahead and leave those grass clippings, okay? The reason why we leave the grass clippings is because we're trying to rejuvenate the soil system, okay? As those grass clippings decompose, we put the nutrients back in the soil. That's the thought process behind it, okay? So the biggest pro, in my opinion, is, you're eliminating the excessive amount of top growth. Now, it can be said that it reduces your mowing frequency, if you will. So, for example, on my lawn, during the slower portion of the season, here in El Paso, Texas, West Texas, mowing doesn't really start until April. So April and May, I would say, is my slower season as far as mowing goes. And then we hit October, November, Bermuda goes dormant, okay, and the third week in November. So it starts to slow down. And the growing season from June, July, and August, I typically mow 3 times a week here at my own property, okay? My clients, I can only do once a week or twice a week if, we're on a bi-weekly schedule. But 3 times a week during my mowing season, okay, it can get exhausting, okay? We do get triple digit heats here in El Paso. We have very limited humidity, so thank God for that. But, you know, lately we've been at a 30–40% humidity range. So, you know, we do feel the effects of doing that all day and then getting home. There's some energy that's needed. You know, if you're a young stud like myself, you know, you can get through it, but other times, you know, it's nice to have a little break. So another pro is that it reduces your frequency of mowing. Okay, so today I went ahead and mixed in the PGR, which we use trinexapac-ethyl, or TNEX, inside of my iron and microgreen solution. Okay, you can do that. You can also mix it with the fungicide if you need to, or if you're spraying some weeds, you can mix it in there as well. I would probably separate the herbicide control from your PGR applications, but you can mix if you'd like. A third pro of utilizing a plant growth regulator is simply that it can increase the chlorophyll, I guess, compaction, or, you know, your chlorophyll inside the actual plant. It kind of bunches up more because you've got reduced top growth, so you can see a color change as well. So maybe if I hadn't applied the iron today and I just put down the PGR, kept the mowing at the same height, these lime green areas, possible that we may see an increase of actual green color just due to the chlorophyll increase as well in the smaller amount of leaf tissue. Last pro, guys, with using a PGR, and if you are looking to have the most dominant, shortest, thickest lawn, utilizing this PGR is going to allow that. And the reason why it allows it is going back to that gibberellic acid being inhibited by the plant growth regulator. You know, it's still growing. In other words, well, not just in other words, but you're still going to be pushing, you know, your nitrates. That energy for that plant has to go somewhere, and if it's not going up, it is going to redirect that energy on a lateral spread. So in Bermuda grass, Bermuda lawns, for example, your stolons, your runners, they're going to be, you know, getting a little longer. And if you got some bare spots and you dare use this PGR, you know, you're going to redirect that energy to fill in those areas. But it's not going to happen at a faster rate, okay? Just because we're reducing that energy for the top growth doesn't expedite or speed up that energy, that spread on a lateral pattern. It's going to happen at its normal rate. Just understand, utilizing a PGR is going to help thicken up your lawn. It's going to help get that turf nice and dense. Let's talk about the cons real quick. The cons of utilizing a PGR can be increased damage to the turf, okay? And what I mean by that is if you've already got issues going on inside your lawn. So for example, and I hope I'm going to be able to post a picture here soon, but I did use TNEX last year, and I had an issue right here in the center of this portion of the yard that we were trying to fill in. And a lot of it had to do with the kind of leveling I did a year or two ago. I think it was a year ago, but I was trying to fill in this spot. And so my mentality was, let's go ahead and use TNEX. Let's stop the top growth and see if we can push in the lateral spread faster. Well, what it ended up happening was it took an even longer period of time for that area to actually fill in more than I wanted to. So the con is that if you've got bare areas, do not apply this product, okay? What I would recommend, what I suggest you guys do is push more nitrogen or fertilizer applications, either increased frequency or a higher dose. Maybe instead of doing your, quarter pound or half pound in rate, bump it up to 3/4 of a pound. And depending on the time of the year, go to a pound. Now, obviously, don't do that during the summertime, but maybe just be consistent with your 3/4 pound nitrogen rate. Fill in those areas first before you apply a PGR, plant growth regulator, guys. That way there's no decrease in the actual spread or filling in of a bare spot, okay? That's con number one as far as bare spots, okay? The second portion of a con, or the second kind of con, is if you've got fungus or disease issues. And we're going to be doing a case study here, even at my own house, is this pest issue that I had this particular year where we had grub damage under here. And you know, it didn't quite fill back in, as you guys can tell, but we went ahead and put down the iron application with the microgreen, okay, micronutrient, simply because of the chlorosis. Let's wait for this plane to fly by real quick. I hate when I have to try to talk over either someone or something or a plane. So we went ahead and did the iron application, okay, and inside the tank we mixed in the PGR, but that bare spot, I'm betting it takes a good amount of time for it to fill back in. But you know, the goal essentially is to make sure the whole lawn decreases my mowing frequency, okay? So that's definitely, I guess, a con part 2 is if you've got bare spots or you've got fungus issues, pest issues, expect those areas to be a little bit more delayed on the response or recovery from the grass damage or tissue damage, the grass tissue damage from whatever it was occurring inside your lawn, okay? Another con as far as using a PGR is the over application of the product. It actually, not just a con, but it can be a problem, an easily done problem if you over apply this product, okay? What can happen if you do an over application of a PGR is you're gonna seriously damage the turf in the sense of you're gonna stunt the growth like crazy, and you're gonna go, you know, well beyond the 28 day residual of the product, but you're going to cause some discoloration. I think discoloration would probably be the first con, because you're trying to maintain a nice, healthy, green, lush, thick lawn, and you're thinking, okay, well, let me put down some PGR, and, you know, I may see a even brighter or darker green because I'm increasing the actual chlorophyll inside of the, you know, the smaller leaf tissue, but I over applied it, and you're going to end up causing some bronzing of the grass, okay? You're going to be causing more damage. So I think initially that would definitely be con number 1, but do not over apply this, okay? Safest bet is to go ahead and fill in as much as you can, fix your disease issues, fix your pest issues, you know, get into that routine mowing service, routine mowing practice on the height of cut that you want to maintain. Once everything's solid, then do your PGR application at the appropriate time when you feel you need to decrease your mowing. All right, guys, last thing I'm going to be talking about today in regards to the PGR is simply your application rates, okay? Understand that if you over apply this product per 1,000 square feet, you are going to do more damage than harm, okay? More damage than good. Okay, do not over apply this. Always make sure that you guys read the label. The label is the law. And just to give you a quick example, per 1,000 square feet in a hybrid Bermuda, the application rate for this NEX, okay, is 0.25 or 1/4 of an ounce per 1,000 square feet if you are maintaining a residential commercial grass height. That can change, okay? So if you guys are looking to maintain a short golf course green type turf, okay, where you're maintaining it at half inch, a fairway, half inch or less, the application rate decreases. I think it's at a 0.20 ounces per 1,000 square feet. So just remember, the lower you're trying to maintain your grass, okay, the less amount of the product you actually have to use, okay? With that being said, if you guys are trying to control your edges, okay, next to your concrete patios, pavers, or your sidewalks, the rate you can actually increase or maybe do a double pass to you know, to help control that lateral spread onto the edges, okay, guys? But outside of that, if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave me the comment below, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as possible. And always don't forget to subscribe and like the channel. Give me that thumbs up if you enjoyed the video.